Before you waste your valuable time, go ahead and get online. Sean and Snowflake are here for you with a brand new book review.
Okay, hi everyone, I'm Sean and this is Snowflake, and today we are reviewing 3 books for you by Walter Moers. Moers is a brilliant German writer and illustrator. The 3 books we are going to be reviewing are The 13.5 Lives of Captain Bluebear, Rumo, and my personal favorite, The City of Dreaming Books. I discovered Moers almost at random one day at the library browsing for books, and I started reading this book, The City of Dreaming Books. I fell in love with it, and then I went and I bought every Walter Moers book I could find in English. Okay, it was actually the second book I read from him, but we're going to start with Captain Bluebear. This is the first book in the... There goes Snowflake. Be right back. Okay, it was actually the second book I read from him, but we're going to start with... There goes Snowflake again. Okay, it was actually the second book I read from him, but we're going to start with... There he goes again. Okay, it was actually the second book I read from him, but we're going to start with... It's like he does it on cue. Okay, it's actually the second book from him, but we're going to start with The 13.5 Lives of Captain Bluebear. It's the first book in Walter Moers' Zamonia series. So I really liked Captain Bluebear. I thought it was a real good novel. I really liked the humor. It had many laugh-out-loud parts. I think Captain Bluebear was the funniest of the 3 Moers books that I read. The humor in Moers' writing is difficult to explain. It's not elaborate setup jokes with big payoffs. It's kind of unexpected humor. It comes out of left field. The major downside to this book is there was this span of about 200 pages when Bluebear reaches the city of Atlantis, where the story just ground to a complete halt. Moers describes in depth all these different creatures that Bluebear comes across, and there's absolutely no reason for them to be in the story. They don't contribute to the plot or Bluebear's development at all. Moers just throws these creatures at readers, describing them, and for what? If you are reading this book and you find this passage and you're bored by it, I'd say just skip this section after Bluebear reaches Atlantis. The rest of the book is great, but it's because of this section that I think should have been cut that I gave the book 4 stars rather than 5. If he would have cut this section, it would have been a 5-star book. You're doing a good job, boy. Okay, next we go to Rumo. This is the 3rd book I read by Moers, and it's the 2nd in the series. One neat thing about Rumo is the character Rumo, he's like this dog-like creature. He actually appears toward the end of 13.5 Lives of Captain Bluebear. Okay, whereas Captain Bluebear has this section of 250 pages toward the end that I found completely boring, Rumo begins with about 200 pages that I just didn't like. If it wasn't Moers, I probably would have given up after about 30 pages. It really feels like Rumo is differently written than the other books. I didn't find it as funny. I think Moers was writing it as if he was trying to write a literary classic. He wasn't trying to write so much a funny book or an imaginative book. He was trying to write a classic to be beloved by critics, and I just found it boring. I did not like Rumo at all. It did lighten up a bit and get more into that Moers style that I liked about 250 pages in. Well, I read about 50 pages more, so in all I read about 300 pages, but in the end I just was not enjoying this book, Rumo. So for that reason, I just give it a single star. Whatever Moers was trying to do with this book, I think it was a big swing and a miss. I couldn't draw any positives out of Rumo. There was just simply nothing I liked about it, nothing that made me so much as smirk, let alone laugh. I did talk with another fan of Moers' books, and she did like Rumo. It was her second favorite book after City of Dreaming Books. So maybe it's just me that didn't like it, but anyway. Third, we come to my and Snowflake's favorite, the City of Dreaming Books. I don't know much where to start with this book, so I'll start with the conclusion. I believe that the City of Dreaming Books is the best thing ever written in the history of humanity. And I know that sounds extreme, I know that sounds like an exaggeration, but I do believe it. I'd go so far as to say I think City of Dreaming Books is the greatest accomplishment in human history. Forget the pyramids, forget the Great Wall of China, forget landing on the moon, supposedly. I think City of Dreaming Books bests them all. I think it's the greatest thing we have ever done as a species. You're doing a good job, boy. After reading this book, City of Dreaming Books, I could not write for a year because I just knew that anything I could... I'm talking... because I knew that nothing I could ever write would ever be so good as this book. It cannot be surpassed. Nothing better will ever be written. And there goes Snowflake. You're doing a good job though, boy. You're doing a good job. You're doing good. We're almost done. Can you stand it out for 5 more minutes? 5 more minutes, boy. 5 minutes. Come on. Nope. City of Dreaming Books is about this character, Optimus Yarnspinner. He is a dinosaur, of course, who comes into possession of this manuscript that is the best thing ever written. Sound familiar? In my opinion, City of Dreaming Books is sort of an autobiography of Walter Moers' own book. The perfect manuscript that he possesses is actually the City of Dreaming Books. That's just my wild theory, but anyway, in trying to track the author of this perfect manuscript, Optimus Yarnspinner ventures to the city of Bookholm, which is a city based entirely around books. Reading them, writing them, manufacturing them, just everything in the city is geared toward novels, toward books. And it's just a great setting. It's a perfect mecca, a Disneyland for readers as well as writers, I think. As a writer, I found a lot of meaning in this book. For example, there's a scene in this book where Optimus encounters a literary agent, and so he thinks this agent will know a way to find the author of this perfect manuscript, because surely he must have published before if he wrote something so good. Please give me 5 more minutes, boy. We're almost done. We're almost done. So Optimus Yarnspinner is sitting down with his agent. He hands him this manuscript, and the agent reads it, and unimpressed, he hands it back. Optimus is dumbfounded. He's like, "Don't you think this is the best thing ever written?" And the literary agent says, "No. If there was any judge of the quality of a novel, he would be the last person to ask. Because all this agent is interested in is whether a book will sell or not. He doesn't care how good it is. Because," he says, "many terrible books sell well, but great books go undiscovered. So what use is there for him as an agent in finding good authors?" There's nothing. What he wants, he says, is successful incompetence. And I just love that line. The one negative I will point out about City of Dreaming books is that it seems like about halfway in, Moers completely disregards his plot. I found myself wondering when Yarn Spinner would ever get back to tracking down the author of this book. I wondered if it'd even come up again. What I will say after reading the book is that this section in the middle where it seems like Moers completely disregards the plot, it is there for a reason. Moers will get back to what he is doing, so do read on. Yoink. Good boy. A final thing I'll say about Moers is that every book I've read by him, granted it's just 3, they've each taken me a long time to read. Maybe a year for City of Dreaming books and 2 years for Bluebear and Rumo. I don't know why it takes me so long to read Moers, but it seems like reading 1 page from him is like reading 10 or 20 pages from another author. His writing just saps me of energy. Maybe it's like wine, I can only stand so much. But I've never been able to zip through any of Moers' books. So all in all, Captain Bluebear, 4 stars. It would be 5 if not for that span of pages toward the end. Bluebear is definitely a good spot to begin the series. Rumo, personally, I'd say skip and you wouldn't miss anything, but that's just me. So if you like either Bluebear or City of Dreaming books, give Rumo a shot. Maybe you'll like it more than I will. Maybe you'll appreciate it more. Myself, it just didn't work for me. City of Dreaming books, no doubt, 5 stars, best book ever written. The last thing I'll point out is that I loved Moers' drawings so much that I started to draw myself, and I copy many of Moers' drawings. So I'm going to run through some of those for you.
It's Sean and Snowflake. It's Sean and it's Sean and it's Sean. 2, 3. It's Sean and Snowflake. It's Sean and Snowflake. It's Sean and Snowflake giving a book review. Well, that was kind of interesting. Sean and Snowflake. Sean and Snowflake. Sean and Snowflake giving a book review. Giving a book review. Giving a book review. Yeah, that was awful.
What you're going to hate is I'm going to use like a take that you don't like.
I know.
Where you're like, oh, that was bad.
No, please don't do that.
And I'm going to include you saying that in the video. Oh, no, that's bad.
No, please don't. No, please. Hey folks, you know what it's time for? Sean and Snowflake, Sean and Snowflakes, Sean and Snowflakes, their book review.
Hey y'all. I don't say y'all. Hey everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and post the video. So I'm going to go ahead and post the Why do I keep saying Vizio? You're a good boy. No kiss? Gosh, you're just totally grouchy today. Are you hungry? Are you bored? Are you sleepy? Are you mad? Are you tired? You okay? You're antsy, aren't you? No, 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 no. Stay. Stay with me, boy. Remember? So it's difficult to explain the plot of There he goes. No kiss? You're not being good today. People love you, by the way. You're getting a lot of positive comments. They don't say anything about me so much, but they do love you. You're going to be a star on YouTube. I should change the channel to Snowflake's channel. I thought about getting a shirt that says, like, I'm with Snowflake and an arrow pointed up to him. That'd be cool. Okay, so that's going to be it for this one. I hope you enjoyed watching and see you next time. Okay.
Hey folks, you know what it's time for?